gaslighting and the ANC's controversial cadre policy.
The smell is absolutely horrendous, so you can just imagine what those animals must be going through.
Stinky Cape Town, the offensive stench perpetrators have been identified. And the Zama Zama illegal miners continue their reign in Rivoli. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
The ANC has handed over its cadre deployment records to the DA. That's after the Constitutional Court last week dismissed the governing party's appeal against a 2023 High Court order directing it to release the records within 5 working days. The DA has been pursuing this matter in a bid to show that President Cyril Ramaphosa, who was chair of the committee during that period, is complicit in state capture. The ANC has previously claimed to have lost the records of meetings by the committee between 2012 and 2017.
After more than 3 years of determined lawfare activism by the DA, we have today succeeded in our quest to force the ANC to hand over cadre deployment records dating back to the period when President Cyril Ramaphosa was chairman of the deployment committee. This victory for transparency and the rule of law comes after the ANC was forced to bend the knee before the DA in court, where we won 3 successive battles with cost orders extending all the way to the Constitutional Court. The DA will now study the records to ascertain whether the ANC has complied with the court order in full. As soon as we have processed the documentation, the DA will fulfill our long-standing undertaking to make public the ANC's dirty cadre secrets for every South African to see.
Millions spent by government to seal mining shafts in Rivoli, south of Johannesburg, has hardly made a dent in illegal mining operations in the area.
If you look down, you see it goes down, dips down. It goes like in the stairway, right to that shaft. And once he's there, he's underneath the capping. The guy's gone. This was opened a few days after they left.
Rivoli, a community that you'd possibly remember last year, which was cast into the headlines for rival Zama Zama gangs who were frequently shooting and opening fire on a community that was engulfed in fear. Since then, there have been a number of operations by police and SANDF members to eradicate the scourge of Zama Zamas that has infiltrated that community. But very little has actually happened for the residents of Rivoli, because soon after operations had been conducted and concluded by SAPS, the Zama Zamas were back in the area. Last year, EWN reported that a Central Rand Gold, a company which is now liquidated, was responsible for the rehabilitation for a vast area in the George Harrison Park, which is yet to be rehabilitated. However, the Department of Mineral Resources has not held Central Rand Gold responsible as of yet. For Eyewitness News, I'm Oren Singh in Johannesburg.
The source of the bad smell wafting over Cape Town has been identified. The culprits, 19,000 animals on a ship offshore. The NSPCA has confirmed that it's had to euthanize 5 of the cattle due to injuries.
The smell is absolutely horrendous, so you can just imagine what those animals must be going through.
The cargo arrived last night and the ship is expected to depart at 9 o'clock tonight. So despite co-governing across several municipalities, including Tshwane, where it held its 2024 manifesto launch, the Western Cape remains the DA's prototype of how it will run the country if elected to power.
Their position on triple BEE and affirmative action stays. So don't be surprised that they want to do away with it. That's always what they wanted. They deal with the issue of Eskom, which is interesting for me because what they propose, believe it or not, is not necessarily too different from the government of the day. So unbundling it, the IPP's provinces being able to secure their own power. Now, the Western Cape is the DA's ideal. It's the model they want to roll out everywhere in terms of governance. They say where they govern well. I'll leave that to you. You make your own assessment. Policing, they want to halve violent crime. However, how do they say that with Nyanga being what it is, with the levels of crime that are there? Again, the question mark about the Western Cape. The DA believes that it belongs in the union buildings. However, it cannot get there alone. The Musha Pact is important to the DA. It says it remains committed to it. And lastly, don't forget to dubula inyanga. Whether that's a traditional healer, the moon, the month, or the place, that's up to you.
So if Banyana Banyana beats Tanzania this Friday, they go to the final round of qualifiers for the Olympics. So what are their chances?
The Banyana Banyana squad departs for Tanzania on Tuesday morning, where they'll play the first leg of their third-round Olympic qualifier on Friday before the return fixture in Mbombela next Monday. Victory for Banyana over the two legs will see them advance to the fourth and final round of qualifiers in April, where they'll play either Nigeria or Cameroon for a place at the Paris Games in July and August. Tanzania are currently ranked outside of the top 10 on the continent, but coach Desiree Ellis says their recent record has been impressive and that they're a force to be reckoned with. The Banyana squad has been hampered with injuries throughout the qualification process. Captain Refilwe Jane, along with star defenders Bongeka Gamete and Bambanani Mbane, will miss these two games, but the coach is confident that the 23 players who have been selected have what it takes to overcome their opponents. Banyana missed out on the last Olympic Games in Tokyo and have made the upcoming edition of the Games a key priority. Mawande Mateza, Eyewitness News Sport.
A historic hearing is taking place at the UN's highest court into Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories. This comes after South Africa took Israel to the same court in a bid to secure a ceasefire in the war against Hamas. Back to the Future star, Michael J. Fox, who's living with Parkinson's disease, made a surprise appearance at the British Academy Film Awards to present the Best Film Award. The 62-year-old actor came on stage in a wheelchair but insisted on standing up at the podium to hand out the prize to Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Fox received a standing ovation, with many social media users posting that they were in tears seeing him on stage. That's it from us. We'll see you for more tomorrow.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.